Hi everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I have a topic. It's called turn-ons and turn-offs, and it's dealing with like romance and also like just overall my views of people and everything, whatever, like what I like and what I dislike, what's going to send me running and what's going to make me run towards the person. So starting with, which should I start with, turn offs or turn ons? Okay, I'll start with my turn offs first. Dishonesty. People who try to save their butts at all costs, including being dishonest. That's like a major turn off, because my number one turn on is trust, is feeling that I can trust somebody. And not just a turn on, like I said, and from a romantic perspective, but just overall, like just period, is trust. And so if you show me that you are untrustworthy, then you will never have my heart. You'll never have my heart. It's hard to explain it with me, but I'll put it like this. I was involved with someone at one time that very early into our involvement, like when we were in the very early honeymoon stages, they started showing their dark side to me. And because they did it so early before I was fully attached to them, you know what I mean? Then I had like a little bit of an attachment, especially because I have a codependency personality and all that kind of stuff, but not, he could have been anyone, if you understand what I'm saying. No tea, no shade, respectfully, right? And because he pulled it so early, he never got all of me. He got a lot of me, but he never got all of me. There was always a part of me that he could never touch romantically because he showed me his poor character early on. I know that sounds weird. If you know what I'm talking about, ladies, I would love for y'all to comment that you understand what I mean by that. Versus someone who, if they can keep up the facade, and or maybe they are just genuinely a really great person. Okay, maybe they are. For whatever reason, y'all just didn't work out, or maybe y'all did work out, but they got all of you. They're the kind of guy that when y'all break up or something happens to them or something like that, you don't even want to keep going kind of dude. I don't know what that's like, y'all. I don't know that, not, I could argue, may that love never find me, but whether it finds me or doesn't find me, I don't know what that's like, because I've never had a dude on that level of loving me that, I felt like, oh my gosh, I can't live, and I'm sliding down the wall crying and stuff. No, baby. I'm not trying to be funny, but a part of me, I'm like, oh, that'd be interesting to know what that's like. But then another part of me is like, but what if I lose that person? I really am the person that is like, not wanting to be here anymore because the relationship ended. I don't know. But yeah, if you show me that you're trifling early on, be it romantic or not, you'll never completely have me, if that makes any sense. You'll get a piece of me. I do have that cognitive dissonance, so you'll get a piece of me, but you'll never get the whole. I'm always going to hold back on you, and you won't even know it until we break up and you see that, again, I'm not sliding down the wall crying and everything like that. I know that sounds weird. Again, if you can relate, come at me, get at me, so you know what I'm talking about, okay? But because I feel like I don't hear enough women talk about that. But yeah, if you show me that you have bad character, that's a turn off. Liars, like I said, trying to save your own ass. Someone who doesn't try to protect me in cases where they should be protective towards me and they don't. Yeah, turn off. Someone who will turn against me with other people to try to appease other people, and not for the greater good of a situation, but for to send a message like, hey, I'm with you guys. I don't really like that person like that. And again, it could be romantic, it could be non-romantic, but that is a huge turnoff. That's again, you know, our relationship or whatever it is will be, numbered if you do some shit like that. So major turnoff. Um, Someone who's really cheap for no reason. If you are budgeting specifically for a goal, then I understand that. Like, I would be respectful towards that. Like, you're like, hey, I'm saving up for a house. I'm about 50% of the way to the down payment and all that. Okay, cool. I'm with you. But if you are inexplicably just cheap with me because you seemingly don't feel like I'm worth it, that is a turnoff. Yeah. If I didn't mention this, people who smell bad. I don't understand. I'm going to say this. I feel like men are not smell shamed enough in society because it is so many men who run around smelling so bad and nobody checks them. Everybody wants to talk about stinky, you know, lady parts, but there's so many smelly men parts and nobody wants to say it. And not just men parts like down there, but I mean just period. And one of the things, okay, now this is something that makes me cringe really bad, is if you stink and you hug me, please don't hug me if you smell bad. I'm not kidding. That's like a big pet peeve of mine because then I get paranoid that I'm going, not only do I have to smell the person, but I get paranoid they're going to leave their scent on me. And again, it's mostly males that are the problem with this. And I just don't understand why a dude would not shower when he before leaving the house or dealing with people or whatever in the heck, that it doesn't occur to him, I should jump in the shower. Like, it's to me that's disrespectful. I hate that. So anyway, yeah. Oh my gosh, I shouldn't even say this part, but like guys who don't like to wash their hands, but then they want to touch on people and especially touch on your face, that should be assault. That should be an assault charge. Yeah, I'm telling you, I have run into some dirty MFs in my life and I hate it, okay? But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But, end rant. Okay, let's get to the things I love. I love honesty. I love kindness. I love a good sense of humor, someone who doesn't take themselves too seriously. I love someone who understands. By the way, atheism is also a turnoff for me. And I'm just going to say it and I don't give a fuck who's got a problem with it, pardon my language. But yeah, atheism is definitely a turnoff to me. Okay. Anyway, but back to the point is someone, someone who doesn't understand the concept that I understand, which is at the end of the day, the only opinions that should really, really matter are those of God and yourself when it comes to you. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it'd be nice if other people, were on board as well. But to me, it's God and yourself. That's why I come on here and I'm just myself. I'm me. This is me. This is who I am. And the reason why I'm this way is because at the end of the day, if someone calls themselves judging me, and don't get me wrong, it's not that I don't feel insecure, because I definitely deal with insecurity, but I'm going to keep being me because I know that it's about what God thinks of me and not about what random people who are broken their damn selves think of me. I hope that makes sense, in the grand scheme of things. So, anyway, let's see. What are some of my other turn-ons? Someone who's a protector, which I may have already mentioned that, but yeah, someone who's very protective, especially of women and children, and someone who just has a strong sense of doing what's right. That is also a major turn-on. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't want a person to be a martyr and end up dying, before their time because they just had such a good heart and they helped the wrong person.